And now I'm going to draw a neck. So where should we draw the neck? Okay. Well, if we made our neck as wide as our lips and dropped a line straight down and we drew a neck like that, and some of my students draw their necks like this, you would look like a bobblehead doll. That's no good. So what I do is I usually drop a line at the outer corners of the eyes. That's a good place to start. Outer corner of the eyes to draw your neck. And that gives you a nice neck, a realistic neck. And your neck is basically like a cylinder, like a tube. Okay? And then a little bit, overlapping your neck a little bit, are your shoulders. And the line is kind of sloped down slightly, not too much. You can keep your shoulders horizontal if you want. And most people make their shoulders too small because they're trying to fit their shoulders into the paper. Don't worry about that. I want you to think about drawing more realistically, and you don't have to fit everything into the space of your paper if it doesn't. That will create a more realistic drawing. Yeah. So if you try to start, if you do that habit of trying to fit everything in, you're going to get a very, very kind of cartoonish looking person, and we don't want that. So I connect the neck with the shoulders with a curve right at the base. A curve here. That's how you connect that. And you can erase this line here. So then you have a little bit more of a realistic neck. If your neck looks like really, really thick, you can move the line in slightly, I guess, but maybe you're just not used to looking at your neck like that. I like to put two lines here. That's kind of like these little tendons on your neck, like that. That's a little too pronounced, but you know what I'm saying. And then there's like a little hollow right here in the middle. Let's just say that's the middle right here. And then we have these horizontal lines, and this is kind of like your collarbone. And now the collarbone is not very visible on a lot of people unless they're thinner, unless they have a body type where it's a little bit more thin. And then if they are, it'll protrude out and be more noticeable. Okay? So let's go back to our notes now. And the very last thing that we are going to draw is different kinds of hairlines and different face shapes. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to say, you could say head shapes or face shapes. I'm going to say face shapes. Face shapes and hairlines. Okay, so for this exercise, I wanted you to draw. The first one is going to kind of look like a long oval face. And you could still give it a little narrower chin area. Okay, so this is, and then put a little cylinder for the neck. Okay, this is like your oval face. And I'm going to put a line down the center and find the center of that line and then put a line horizontally through that. This is an oval face. So oval face. Okay. And I'm going to go and look at this little line segment from the top of the head to the center of the face and go down about a third. And then draw a curved shaped hairline. like that. That's an oval face with a rounded hairline. Okay. And of course, a person can have ears. So this lady or this person has a really kind of like skinny oval face. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go and draw a face that's more rectangular. Make the top still round because a rectangular jawline doesn't have, a person with a rectangular jawline does not have a flat head. They still have a nice rounded head. And then their jaw is a little bit more angular. And just give them a nice flat bottom to their jaw. Okay. Okay, we're going to call this a square. Let's match this, a square face. Or you could say rectangular face or square face. And then for the hairline, let's do a straight hairline, which is not exactly square. There's still a little bit of a curve to it. Comes down and then it goes back like that. And this is kind of a man's hairline. Okay. And of course, here's the little halfway line, halfway. And the eyebrow line is right there. So this is a square face, and this is called a straight hairline. Okay, it's a straight hairline. So this person has like a much heavier angular jawline. It's very different from this other person's face right over here. Now you could have somebody with like a combination, I guess. So it doesn't, not everybody fits so beautifully and neatly into one type. You can also have somebody that has a very round face. It's still oval, but it's a little bit wider. So make it wider and less skinny than the oval face. So this person has a more circular face. So this is a round face. Oh, we forgot to draw the neck on the square face. Now let's draw a neck on the round face. Just a cylinder. Sometimes when someone's a little bit, they have a little bit more weight on their face, they could have a round face. When they were younger, they could have had a more, they could have had an oval face. So this is also changeable with age and with their health condition. Yeah. Because when you gain weight, you don't just gain weight on your body, you gain weight on your face too. And on your neck. So you just gain weight everywhere. Sorry to say. Okay. So that's your round face. And on the round face, let's just go ahead and do a widow's peak. And it doesn't have to be symmetrical. Sometimes the little V shape is not perfect. You know, it's a little bit kind of off center, and that's totally normal, right? That's totally normal. So round face, and this is a widow's peak hairline. Okay. And then, of course, the last hairline is really not a hairline at all. I'm going to just draw some bangs. And I'm going to show you a heart-shaped face. So a heart-shaped face is kind of like the round face. It's kind of round, like a circle. And it's full. But then you do have like a pretty dramatic pointy chin. That's why they call it kind of, I don't know why they call that a heart-shaped face, but that's, you know, it kind of looks like at least the bottom half of a heart. Okay. So it's kind of an alien face. I've seen so many pictures of aliens that have this kind of like really, really pointy chin for some reason. But that's just an exaggeration. It's just someone who has a very, you know, skinny, pointy, kind of delicate chin. And this person can actually just have bangs. So if from here to here, about 1/3 of the way down, that's your hairline. Bangs go past that line. And they could be just, you know, cut straight across like this. And then you could just have a bob like that. I don't know if you guys ever remember having bangs. Have you ever had bangs as a kid? I would think so. Maybe at some point everybody tries bangs and then they're like, oh no, like I can't keep getting a haircut this often because you have to keep cutting bangs or just to not have hair in your face. So this is a heart-shaped face. And this is bangs. Heart-shaped. Maybe that should be down here. I like to stick to the same rule. Okay, so down here we'll just say heart-shaped, heart-shaped, heart-shaped face. And then right here, bangs. No hairline. No hairline shape. Because your hairline has moved all the way down here. So we've just kind of gotten rid of this idea of having a hairline altogether. I'm just making the hairs that kind of are on the side, inside of the inside here, a little bit darker. Just shading that a little bit. Putting a little highlight there. Okay, so that is your bangs, no hairline shape with a heart face, a heart-shaped face. So those are 4 common shaped heads, and those are some common hairlines or lack of a hairline in this case. And you know, your bangs can look like this too. You could have a side part with bangs. That's just another variation on having bangs. And I drew that with a different class. Okay, so that completes our notes. So this is page 1. I would put P1 on the right-hand corner and P2 on the second. And when you submit this, make sure you take nice clear photos of both pages and submit both pages so that I see that you drew an eye, eyebrows, nose, lips, ears, and the different hairstyles. With some classes, I didn't talk about face shape. But I still drew four kind of like these dummy or mannequin heads, and I at least drew the hairline shapes. So they all went over the different hairlines and drew these little mannequin faces. All right, so I want to see that. And of course, talking about symmetry, and we drew the heart, and we said the left and the right sides were mirror reflections of each other. So we're going to apply our knowledge of the hairline, and let's talk about face shape here. I am looking at this person, and I'm thinking that this person has kind of a combination of, it's like I would say it's more of a square shaped face, because I have a little bit more pronounced jawline right here. Maybe like a combination of square and round. Not sure. Something like that. It's more like a combination. The hairline, I just want to talk about hair and what we're going to do about hair on this person. So I want to draw long hair, and I want to draw kind of long, dark hair. Do I want to do a part in the hair? Let's see. Do I want long, straight hair? Or do I want to do curly hair? So, we haven't really done... We've done a lot of textured hair. So maybe we want to do something that has to do with... for period 8, in class, we did somebody with wavy hair. That looked like that. Long, kind of wavy hair. How about we do long, straight hair? So this person is going to have a part, and I'm going to put the part on the left side, right here. And I want the hair to kind of be bangs, these like little choppy bangs. Okay, so this person's going to have bangs. And it's going to... The hair is going to be coming off the scalp, because I want to show some volume. I feel like the top of my skull needs to be a little bit bigger. I feel like it should be up here more. Yeah, I feel like the top of my person's head is a little too flat and a little too short. That seems more like a realistic height. I'm just thinking about where the eyes and the eyebrow are. The eyebrows are supposed to be in the middle of this head length. And if that's the case, then this is like way too short up here. So now this is more of an oval square head. I'm going to have the hair go off the scalp because, of course, hair is fluffy. It's material and it sits on top of the head. So I definitely want to have that line be above there. Maybe I'll have a couple pieces come down here. And she would be cute with some shoulder length hair. Okay. So I'm just gonna draw some shoulder length hair like that. Okay. And also the hair should kind of like come off the skull and kind of come off the head on the sides too. Not too much, but if this, especially if the person has straight hair. Now this is a person who just has straight shoulder length hair. And it has layers. So I just wanted to look a little choppier. Here's some pieces here. All right, now I'm going to get rid of the scalp, the line for the skull, until I just have the hair. Get rid of all those like guidelines, the nose, the lower lip, the chin. Let's get rid of all that. If this person is blonde, then I'm really not going to put too much dark value in her hair. If this person is a brunette or black haired, then I'm definitely going to put a lot of black or dark value in her hair. I feel like since the majority of us have dark hair, and we are drawing self-portraits of ourselves, it would be helpful to have somebody that has dark hair just for this particular tutorial. Not to say that you can't bleach your hair and dye your hair so that it appears lighter. There might be people who have, you know, changed their hair color. That happens, of course, all the time. But for the sake of just since most young people don't dye their hair, maybe your parents don't like that. I'm going to say most of us have the dark hair. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a really high number B pencil, like a 4B or a 6B, or even actually a 7B would be good too. And I'm going to just scribble down some dark value. I'm just going to throw it down, just so we're not tempted to make our hair color too light. Unless you are going for like a medium brown or something like that. I'm going to try to find here's a 4B. A 6B would be good. There's a bunch of pencils. Nice and dark. Here we go. Let's see. 14B. Whew, that's a dark pencil. 4B. 2B. That wasn't very hard. 4B. Where's my 7B? 2B. Can never find the pencil that I want when I need it here. HB. $6B. Here we go. This is the guy I'm looking for. So now what I'm going to do, if someone has like straight hair, the hair does not go off the skull all too much. Doesn't like poof out like some other styles of hair that we drew in my other classes. It just kind of depends on the person and their particular hairstyle. Like I have had hair styles that stick out a lot. Like here's an example like this. Here's a hairstyle that really comes off the head. But this one, I'm just gonna have the hair be like more flat and straight. Straight hair does not come off the head very much. So I'm going to use the side of my pencil, just being careful not to go into the ears too much. Oh, at this point you can also think about, does the hair cover the ears? If you choose to have the hair cover the ears, then you're just going to have to cover up your pencil drawing of your ears. If that's the look you want. And oftentimes hair does cover the ears. So now what we're getting back here, we lost a little bit of time because the camera shut off. But what I basically did was I didn't want to make this person look blonde. I wanted this person to have dark hair. So I am just putting in a dark value all around. Just putting in, it doesn't matter. It could be just the darkest value of the hair. And we just want to put that on here. We're going to figure out where we want our light to be. So I'm going to say our light is going to be in the upper right hand corner. In front of the face, in front of the person. So I really want there to be light like on their hair here and on this side of the face. And I want the rest to be in like a little stronger shadow. After you put your pencil down, take a piece of paper towel and just kind of smooth the value. Just make it nice and dark and even so there's no big white gaps. You know, so the person's going to look like they have like a full head of hair. All right. Kind of think about like different sections of hair going in the same direction. First, just draw a little light line right up here, and that's going to be the part in the hair. And then from there, I'm going to have like the hair kind of coming out. And I'm going to switch to a little bit harder pencil, maybe like a 2B, then a 6B. So I get like a cleaner, sharper line. Have the hair coming out of that, out of the skin of the hair, of the head. Then I want to show like where are the highlights. So if this person has bangs, I think I want there to be a strong line of highlight somewhere here. Kind of right here. I'm just taking my eraser and I'm just kind of like zigzagging across the top here. Right here. Also, right here where the hair is kind of like bending, I'm going to put a little bit of highlighting right here on this side too. So it's going to be mostly at the top, not right on the top, but just like a little bit further down and kind of in the middle. And then I'm going to take my 6B pencil, and what I'm going to do is just draw like the individual hairs, and some of them can go right through the highlight, but I want to preserve some of that white highlight, that's little zigzag, and I want to draw like the individual hair laying on the face. And hair, because of the static and the oils and everything, like the hair likes to stick to each other in sections. I also want to make it extra dark here at the very top, around the top of the head, just so that it looks like this kind of, the hair is coming from behind toward us. And the light is not hitting that part of the head. The light's kind of hitting the top of the bangs. So I start from there and I just press really hard. And I'm kind of like lifting my pencil up, lifting it up. So maybe I want like a clump or a group. I don't like that word clump, but like a section of hair like sticking here, and then like a section of hair, like a bunch of hair sticking together there, and then another one like right here, like that. And then these might have a slight curve going this way, bowing out and then bowing in, like just a slight wave. Even really, really straight hair has a slight wave to it because it's sitting on a round head, for God's sakes. Yes, it's sitting on a round, curvy head. And then like after we do like the texture of like straight hair, we're gonna go in there with a eraser, like a wedge cap eraser or something a little harder. I used to have these pencils that were actually not pencils but erasers, like this. This is actually an eraser pencil. I could take that and I could try to erase out a little bit brighter highlight in certain areas like that for like a harder, cleaner shine. You don't get a really, really white highlight there. Sometimes I have a colored pencil eraser, which is a little bit more aggressive. That might have a little bit more sand in it. Like this eraser is just like a regular drawing eraser. That might do the trick too. But sometimes I use a little bit more of an aggressive eraser. And that's the colored pencil eraser. Or sand eraser. It's used to basically erase away pen by sanding and scraping away paper. So yeah, that is magic. This is a mono eraser, sand eraser 512A by Tombow. Tombow is the Japanese brand, right? It's called a sand eraser. And I just like to make my little zigzaggy highlights. Some of the highlights I like to like follow down with the hair, a couple of them. Make some of them a little longer than others. That just makes it look a little more natural. Just kind of bring it up a little bit too. There we go. Okay. If you put too many highlights though, then the person starts looking like they have light hair again. So you don't want to do that. I'm going to go back in with this 6B pencil and just put those little zigzaggy like points back in my highlight by drawing some hairlines through the highlight. I definitely like want to make the edge of my head, like right along the edge, much darker. So I'm going to press really hard there. Here's like a little section of hair that's hanging down. I want to give it kind of an interesting look, so I'm just going to... This is like a very choppy hairstyle. So I'm going to make like two little gathered pointy sections. Then one little loose hair here. And then take my eraser and put a little, like a little highlight on that and attach it to this group of highlight right here. Right there. Since my hair was a pretty dark color to begin with, I think I used a 6B. I'm going to go back to using a 6B and draw like the individual hairs here. I'm not like drawing a million hairs, but I'm drawing enough to give the impression of hair strands and also describing which direction the hair strands are going. You know, like we can have the hair cover over the ears too. I'm kind of partial to covering over most of the ear for this particular style. I'm going to make it a little less choppy. Just bring it in a little bit more. Because basically all of us have oils in our hair, and the oils kind of create like a magnetism or static electricity and magnetism between each other. And so what it does is it makes hair kind of stick to each other. So you're not going to see somebody who has hair where every single hair is going in a slightly different direction. I mean, there's going to be groups of hair sections that all travel in the same direction. Oftentimes, like you're just not going to have every single hair on your head going in a different direction. If we ever saw that, I think that would look weird, and it would definitely stand out. Okay. And now I'm just going to put a little bit of just a little highlight kind of flexing along this little group of hairs here, and maybe hitting right here and like a little here. There we go. And then here, maybe we just have a little highlighting going on right here on a few of these hairs, like that. Here's the ear. And maybe along this edge right here. Yeah. There we go. The light sources here, we just definitely want some strong highlights right here. Now I'm going to work some pencil hairlines back in here.